I have the hardest trouble explaining show skiing to people. Well, show skiing by its nature is just really weird and stupid. So yeah, show skiing is basically a form of water skiing where you put different acts out on the water, be it pyramids, jumping, barefooting. And there's also a stage portion of the show, so comedy acts, an announcer, and things like that. It's just super rewarding, and then when you do that with friends, it just makes it all that better. And now we're pulling up to the crow's nest. We'll hook up the boat. Perfect. There you go. The first time I ever heard of the Little Crow ski team was in 1998. We moved here as a family. My mom got a job in Wilmer. So it was something that we'd never even heard of. What is a water ski show? So we went and watched, and 1998 happened to be the year that they won the national tournament. So it was kind of, you're seeing the best right off the bat, and I was kind of hooked after that. So then the first year, I kind of came to realize that even though I thought I was a really good skier, I was not as good as the other kids my age. So there was a big learning curve there, and I had to work really hard. The site that we ski at is called Near Park. It's right in the town of New London. It's been a place where I've spent most of my summers for the last almost 30 years.
So that's the jump right there, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the jump. 14 feet wide, 5.5 feet high. At least that's what we think it is. We just kind of put it in every year and hope it's accurate. We take it out every year, but I think that jump is over 30 years old. There's been some repairs that have been done to it, new surface and things like that, but not much else. I love the site because, one, it's just a great place to go and watch a show. We have good facilities there, good bleachers, good sight lines for the audience. Jay's already stretching. But just mostly the memories that I've made there. Friends that I'll have for a lifetime. People my age, even boat drivers, people that are older, people that are younger, that you kind of share that common interest with. And also, it's probably one of the smallest sites in all of show skiing. So it's very unique to us. We have to do things a lot differently at home than how we would do them at tournaments. But that also means that we have beautiful water 100% of the time. So for barefooting and for jumping, you really can't beat it.
So I learned to ski when I was right around, a little after the age of 2. My uncles would always take me out in the boat, and then I just picked up a pair of skis and went out and learned how to ski.
At 2?
Yeah.
No.
Yep. My grandma has the pictures. I could barely even fit into my life jacket with the deal. I joined the Little Crow ski team when I was 7 years old. I have been jumping about 30 years. Is a good stretch. I don't think most people hardly make it out of 20 years of jumping before they kind of hang it up and do something else. The first show I was in, I believe it was in 1995 at the National Ski Tournament, and I was on top of the 3-tier barefoot pyramid. 3-tier barefoot pyramid is probably one of the hardest pyramids ever done. There's 3 guys barefooting on the bottom, 2 guys in the middle, and 1 guy on top of the pyramid.
Yeah, you got
Still the dumbest thing ever done in
You got to kind of, that is, yeah, the 3-tier barefoot pyramid.
Yeah.
That one was 96, and this one was 95. And I was on top of both of them. The 3-tier barefoot pyramid has only been done by Little Crow, to my knowledge.
That is the highest scoring act you can do.
If you showed those pictures to another show skier, and they're just like...
You're stupid.
Yeah.
Nobody does it. That's why it scores so high.
Just knocks out the little guy on top.
Yeah, there's definitely dangers.
We had a show director a few years ago, Chad Thompson. He actually lit himself on fire and went and did a gainer backflip over the jump.
Yeah, there's Marky, who did the two-way around the boat pull. That was his little baby. He spent a lot of time on that. Over 20 years ago, we had a skier that skied professionally in San Antonio, and he came to the dock one day and he said, hey, we do this trick where we do around the boat, and there's a second person who just kind of stays behind the boat, and it looks really cool, but I think we could send two people fully in opposite directions around the boat. I need a whiteboard to explain how it was done. Almost getting ran over by the boat running over ropes.
I almost lost an ear.
Yep, Fader almost lost an ear. When I was 21, I was doing 720s. My skis kind of separated and my leg just went.
I hit a wave coming up to the jump and it kicked me sideways. I ended up hitting my head on top of the jump and getting completely knocked out cold. Blew out both my eardrums and fractured a sinus cavity.
That was a good one. Now he can't hear out of one ear.
We were doing a 5-man heli and came around and the rope like wrapped around my ski and it took my whole knee and twisted it and faced it straight while my body was still facing backwards.
So yeah, there's risks, but you try not to go out there, unprepared. The Little Crow ski team has won the national jump team competition 5 times. Last year at the national tournament, we took the most outstanding act, so that was the high scoring act of the entire tournament.
Winning team jump at nationals last year was a pretty cool moment. Regionals did not go well.
Is it a jump? It's a barefoot. Is it a jump? It's a barefoot jump.
I mean, I think we pretty much botched the whole thing and got second to last place.
You want to know what?
a good thing or a
You want
bad
to know what hurts? Being old and falling. How about that?
And we went to Warsaw and did our whole jump routine flawlessly, no falls. We got first place, which is hard to do. It's very hard to win team jump.
For our jump team to have 5 national championships, when we're pulling from New London and Spicer, an area that has a population combined of maybe 4,000 or 5,000, it's a pretty big deal when you're going up against teams from, the Twin Cities and Madison, Wisconsin, and things like that. So to really look back on the journey of joining the ski team when I was, 11, 12 years old, where I was just rolling ropes and hauling skis, to be where I'm at now with, every time I go down to the dock, it's like I'm with family. My daughter's on the team now, so being the developmental director, I can, kind of help her progress, and then other kids her age, and I see her kind of making those same friendships that I made when I was younger, and it's something that's really fulfilling.
Bridger, you're comparing yourself to Van. Comparison is the thief of joy. Just go out there and make a heli. You can do it.
Jumping in shows and at practice and showing kids how to do the jumps and learn is almost more rewarding than myself going over the jump. I think that's what keeps me coming back. And at the age, I'm 40 years old and still jumping, but I think it's more so for the kids, like to show them, hey, let's keep going, let's build this thing and let's try to win a few more awards.
Postcards is made possible by the Minnesota Arts and Cultural Heritage Fund and the citizens of Minnesota. Additional support provided by Margaret A. Cargill Philanthropies, Mark and Margaret Yackel-Julien on behalf of Shalom Hill Farms, a retreat and conference center in a prairie setting near Windham, Minnesota. On the web at shalomhillfarm.org. A better future starts now. West Central Initiative empowers communities with resources, funding, and support for a thriving region. More at WCIF.org.